Welcome back to the morning show on XL7 TV. It's time for This Week in Real Estate with Mr. Bob Zador. How are you, sir?
I'm great.
We were reminiscing about some times 56 years ago today. You enlisted into the Marine Corps and had a good time.
Yes, I did. I was inducted, and they saved my life, probably.
Yeah,
And they helped. That's right. And they helped to make me who I am today. And the Marine Corps was a wonderful thing. Obviously, I'm proud of that, but that's just part of the whole deal. But I think it was a true cornerstone of going forward. Mm-hmm. You learn the teamwork. You learn how things work. You learn how to take care of yourself. You learn how to take care of others. And
you learn how to depend on yourself more than you do others, but then you learn how to help others more than you help yourself.
Yep.
I don't know if that's totally true.
Well, and that's true because it's a team sport, and that's
the ultimate
that's what
team
makes
sport
it.
is
That's what
any
makes
branch
it
of
work.
the military.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's what makes it work is being a team sport.
It's time for This Week in Real Estate.
Yeah.
How's it been this week?
Market has slowed. It's slowed down some. It's slowing down nationally. Some spots more than other. I mean, there's some places that are really hurting right now. You're seeing a 40% difference in what asking prices were from a couple of years ago. Towns that took those huge rises are settling down because it can't go on forever. I mean, you just can't add to it. The interest rates have helped to slow things down. The people are just kind of a little leery of what's going to be next. Mm-hmm. You have the economy, and while people may be doing okay, they have a tendency to look at their neighbor and say, well, Fred was talking about he may get laid off, or those types of things. I'm fine, but they don't see it that way. So they see they're worried about inflation because that's still an issue. It's settling down, but it's still an issue going up. Interest rates are still high-ish. They dropped. They're down in the mid-low sixes. You can get some stuff in the fives, high fives, point down. That makes a big difference in your monthly payment. Prices are coming down. They had reached unreasonable. I mean, we're up almost $100,000 from 19 on an average sale price. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of money in 5 years, So
20 grand a year is a lot.
It's kind of hard. Yeah, I mean that's a lot for a town this size for as many houses as we turn over. That's a lot, and we're over 500 again for houses on the market. That's a lot of houses. 510 houses is a lot of houses. 200 and some of 202, 204, whatever it is are in Mountain Home itself, Mountain Home proper. But that's still, coming from 79, I think was the lowest.
I was going to say at one point we were below 100,
yeah,
and now we're up over 500.
Yeah.
Let me just throw this out there real quick. The purpose of this program that we do every week here, that we call it This Week in Real Estate, is to educate folks that are not in this area and some that are thinking about selling. If you're out of the area, think about buying. This is to educate you, let you know what's going on the local market. Mr. Zador and his team, they purchase this time each week to bring you that information. So it's not sit here and talk about just the Z team, but it's talk about the market in general, what's going on in our local area, how they can help you get things ready to sell, how they can help you come into this area as a buyer as well. And that's what we do here each Friday morning, and that's the purpose of it. We have a flood, more or less, of townhomes being built here.
Yes, we do.
Not very far from the station here. Is that going to flood the market? What's that going to do? What's happening with those? Are they selling as
they're
fast
selling
as
them and they're filling them up. So people just looking to get away from the bigger cities, to looking to get away from some of the things that from wherever there may be, and they're cutting down on the maintenance, and we're starting to see some people that are here in town, that just can't keep the house up anymore. The maintenance can't keep the maintenance up to worry about the gutters and cutting the grass and all the things that go like that. So it's like a rental that you own. It's something that you're not paying the landlord's rent, which is, you're paying the landlord's mortgage, you're paying your own mortgage.
Right.
And a lot of people are buying them straight out. They're simple, they're not real extravagant. They're comfortable. Those neighborhoods have a tendency to be people of our age that are, so there's a commonality for people like that. And they still seem to be moving fine. You don't want to see them get too many of them built, that they're, something starts to go south, that they're sitting there. That was one of the things in '08 when the market fell apart. The houses in Big Creek, those condos I'm going to blank on the guy's name, but the guy who was
Gracie.
building, when they were building them, they'd build one and then sell it and then start on two more. Sell one and then, so we always had like one extra
Right.
sitting there, but not 10 extra sitting there, because that was what happened to this guys in Northwest Arkansas. I mean, their guys got killed. Banks got killed. So the market's better now for that. The banks are better prepared for that. They're making sure that people actually can afford to buy a house. That's a good thing. You don't want people before in 06, 07. I mean, if you could fog a mirror, yeah, sure, put them in a house. And people were closing on a purchase and taking out equity loans. I mean, that was just
Crazy.
crazy.
Yeah. The art of negotiation is back.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. Like I say, the market. You'll see the number of price reductions that have come through. We're seeing. It's just a reality. If you want to sell your home, then you need to be more attractive than the other homes that are in your area. Your price, the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, things like that. So how do you stand out? Well, you stand out with price, or offer to take their closing cost on. Some loans you kind of have with the VA loans. You're picking up to a certain extent, a certain amount of the veterans' expenses for their loan. You get the same thing on some of the RDA loans and the other government program type loans. So to be able to get some of those, that's a good way to help the first-time home buyer or somebody who's just trying to step up a little bit. You can help them by picking up some of their costs.
The time to close, what are we looking at? Getting extended again, or is it
No, we're still,
under
you
90 still?
can get done in 30 days. 30, 45 is a good number. If your stuff is together, I mean, when you went to get pre-approved, you had to get all your tax stuff and everything else, so you hold on to all of that. And so when you find the house and you go back in to get the real approval done, it makes that go much smoother.
Pre-approval still an important thing?
Oh, it's the only thing, but nobody should be out looking at homes, and no realtor should be out taking people out to look at homes unless you're pre-approved, because it's just frustration waiting to happen. How can you go look at stuff if you don't know what you can afford? You may be looking at houses in one range when in fact you could be looking at them in another. You could be looking at
Upper
these
or
houses.
lower.
It goes both ways. And if you're looking at homes up here and you're really down here, then you're going to be nothing but frustrated because you can't compare those homes. You can't compare a $300,000 home with the 250 even. They're just different. Location, type of construction, how much if work needs to be done on them. Those types of things are what make the difference in the market. People now, in COVID times, in times of COVID, we had people were just buying stuff sight unseen. They were buying anything to get away from there. Now, not so much. They can pick and choose. There's a lot of properties out there to look at. So in being able to pick and choose, you have to stand out. I'm not saying start tearing out the kitchen, no big projects. Let them do that. Address that with price.
Be clean.
Be clean. Get the leaves off. Get the plants coming out of the gutters. Those types of things. safety issues, things that, and you know what's in your house. You know what needs to be done. Get some of that stuff done. That outlet that wiggles when you pull the vacuum cleaner in and out of it. Fix it, get it fixed, whatever the case may be. Don't go up on the roof. Get somebody else to do that. But those are the kinds of things, so when you pull into the driveway, people go, ooh.
Curb appeal is still
ooh.
a big thing.
Of course it is, sure. That first impression, you can't beat that first impression. So with that in mind, that's one of the ways that you're really prepared to go forward.
What about relief for the first-time home buyer? Is there any?
There's some programs. Some of the banks have got some different programs. There's some federal programs that are available. Again, when you go to your local banks. I can't say that enough. Go to the local banks, local mortgage companies, and they will make you aware of these programs that are there. Some banks specifically have programs just for that. You know, the different managers have different ideas of ways to help the kids, and that's very important. So there's opportunities out there. There's a lot of homes out there. There's a lot of stuff to look at, and the prices are getting better. The rates are down, and as they continue to fall, then you refi. We're seeing there's an uptick in refis, in people refining who were at that 7, saying, okay, fine, it's worth it to, spend a couple bucks and buy some of this loan back. That's important. That's very important.
The age-old question, when's the best time to buy a house? They
Yesterday.
always say that yesterday's the best time, the next best time
Exactly.
is today.
Yeah. I mean,
Because you never know what tomorrow's going to bring.
You want to be on it. I'd rather be sitting in a house working on a refi than if the rates dropped appreciably, like over in a short period of time. The prices are just going to go up. I mean, so I would rather be sitting there in a house and the inventory will shrink back up. A lot of people looking to buy just can't afford it right now. And when that time comes, when that bubble breaks and people can, there we go, get out there, start to look. Well, all these houses are going to go. That 5's going to drop down to 2 pretty quick. I'd rather be sitting in a house going, yeah, okay, I need to get this form and that form and be redoing my financing than trying to get financing and find a house and everything else and not have as many choices.
Let's look at your numbers.
This week in real estate, there were 61 new listings come on the market, 4 commercial properties, 18 parcels of land, 43 homes came on the market. They range in price from $75,000 to $1.1 million. 5 of them are taking backup, so the backup number is just kind of a quiet underlay of how busy the market can, how quick things can go. We're still under 90 days for closing. 32 properties sold, 1 commercial property, 8 parcels of land, 23 homes sold. They range in price from $1.3 million to $50,000. Average sale price this week was $320,000 with 90 days on market. Total of $7.3 million in residential real estate closed this past week. 10 properties expired. There were 39 residential price changes. Currently, we have 510 homes on the MLS, and that's pretty much within the sound of my voice. And currently, 204 of those are in Mountain Home. Year to date, for 2025, there's been 749 homes have sold. The average sale price has been $257,000 with 93 days on market. Compared to last year in 24, there have been 761 homes that sold. Average sale price was $243,000 with 92 days on market. There's been a number of over $1 million houses, and that's helped to push that number up. But going back to 20, the first year of COVID, there had been 759 homes sold. The average sale price was $162,000. And like I say, compared to where we are now, with an average sale price of $157,000 or $257,000, that's kind of you go, wow. So there's a lot of equity in homes here. There's people who want to come here, and we want to help them do that.
And how do they get you?
Call my honey. She's sit still. Call my honey. She's at 870-405-0793. The website's retiredtoarkansas.net. New camera's up and running. Can't see it this morning because of the fog, but they did a great job with that. Reynolds Media, Scooter, Gil came out, put their new camera on there, and pops. We got to get the weather rock back on it. We got to drop it down a little bit because we can't see that. But real estate wise, call my honey, 870-405-0793.
There you go. That's been This Week in Real Estate with Mr. Bob Zadora. The Z Team, Century 21 Lemac Realty, as he said, 870-405-0793 is the number. Retiredtoarkansas.net is our website. We'll be back in just a moment.